Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Glad to be here. I want to start with a little bit of a demonstration that for a tech conference might be a little obvious. I come in from the healthcare technology world, where this is a really good illustration of a challenge that we are solving. So this is an image from 2005 at the introduction ceremony for Pope Benedict. And this is an image from 2013 of the introduction ceremony for Pope Francis. So something really interesting happened in those 8 years, which is that all of us got a smartphone in our pocket, and frankly, that's probably why all of us are here in this room today. But in healthcare, while the world changed and all of our consumer behaviors changed, not much actually changed. And if you look at what else happened in healthcare since 2005, so you look at this graph is actually not showing quite right. Okay, so I'll just talk to it here. So let's look at what else has happened since 2005. So in 2005, we had about 2 to 3% smartphone penetration. Now we have over 80% smartphone penetration in the United States. US EHR adoption was about 25% in 2005, and now it's north of 90%. This is actually a graph that shows coming alongside it, there's been since that time a 65% increase in per capita spending in healthcare in the United States. 65% per capita spending increase since 2005. And also, to take advantage of that, we've seen a large number of deals being funded in digital health in order to bring all these ecosystems together. So you have every single patient has a phone in their pocket. Every single provider has an electronic health system that they can actually interface with. We spend more per patient than we ever had before, and we have more companies trying to solve this problem. That presents a tremendous opportunity. It also presents a tremendous challenge. How do you bring all of these stakeholders together in a way that can be effective and create a cohesive experience? And that's what my company Validic does. So Validic is the leading platform for connecting patient-generated health data from digital health apps, wearables, and in-home medical devices into the healthcare system. So we work with over 400 disparate data sources today. We connect everything from your Apple Watch, your Fitbit, to the health apps on your phone like Runkeeper and MyFitnessPal, all the way through to the in-home clinical devices, blood pressure monitors, glucose meters, pulse oximeters, all of the products that people use inside their homes to actually manage their chronic diseases on a daily basis. We standardize and normalize the data from all of those disparate sources, hundreds of disparate sources, so that, for example, if a health system is bringing in blood pressure data to manage hypertensive patients, they need to hook up to our blood pressure endpoint. If they ever want to have a BYOD strategy where a patient can use the blood pressure monitor that they have in their hand, they can go ahead and do that. Validic will standardize and normalize the data from dozens of blood pressure monitors and bring that data into the healthcare system in a way where they don't have to actually make any changes. A very real story that actually happened here. We were rolling out a hypertension program with a health system in Northern California. They went through 8 different blood pressure monitors before they found one that met their clinical needs. They actually did not have to do any development outside of hooking up to Validic in order to actually work with each of those 8 different blood pressure monitors as they were trying to bring in that data. So that's the standardization normalization layer. And then finally, the delivery and display. So we make that data delivered and actionable inside the healthcare system. I'll talk about more of that in a second. So some of the customers we work with, I'm actually finding between Tony and Todd, et cetera, that we're actually sort of expanding. We're saying, as an entrepreneur, you should really focus, but we didn't focus. We attack a lot of verticals. So we actually have hundreds of customers, over 200 customers across 5 different verticals in healthcare. So we actually started on this, the 4th tier here in the wellness space. It's about 40% of our business today is in the health plan wellness space that's really helping employees stay engaged and motivated and active at work. And then we started getting more into the health system space. We work with, of course, with Kaiser Permanente, who led our Series B round. We work really closely with Cerner and Meditech and other vendors in the electronic health record space, as well as folks in the pharma life sciences side. Quick overview. It's been a while since I've presented to this group. So we have 55 employees. We're located in downtown Durham. We launched Validic to the market in April of 2013. We raised a little over $18 million. Dave Kirkpatrick with SJF led our Series A round back in 2014. We have over 200 customers, over 400 connected data sources, constantly bringing in more. And we have over 10 terabytes of data from wearables, apps, and medical devices, which I'm pretty certain is the largest sort of breadth of data across various medical devices in the world. And that's something that we're looking at to see how we can potentially use our unique view of the world to help drive more innovation in healthcare. Our mission at Validic is really simple. It's to improve the quality of human life by building technology that makes personal data actionable. What's important about this is that we're all collecting data on a day-to-day basis. Not very much of it is actually useful in terms of improving the quality of our life, especially for those of us who have chronic conditions. So that's really what Validic is focused on. How can we actually make the data that we are already collecting useful and helpful in a clinical care context? So speaking to that, what's next for us? So Validic, as I mentioned, we launched in 2013. We went from being the industry darling, this cool startup in health tech that's connecting all these wearables, it's really neat, to over the last 4 years, we've really developed ourselves as the market leader in an emerging trend in healthcare of the consumerization of health. And providers are constantly thinking, how can we access patients in a new way? Patients are constantly thinking, how can I get more from my providers? Validic is helping to solve that problem, and one of the ways we're doing that is that we notice that the data that patients are collecting on a day-to-day basis outside the four walls of the hospital is continuous. You're constantly generating data on your wearable. You're constantly, if you have diabetes, you're taking multiple blood glucose readings a day. If you have hypertension, you're taking blood pressure readings every day. If you're on medication, you're taking your medication every day. This is continuous data. The data model inside of a health system that clinicians and care managers are used to working with is episodic. It's encounter focused. You go in for a visit, you maybe take a weight reading, your blood pressure reading, they check up on you, they do their thing, that's locked. That's an episode. And those episodes of care don't map to the continuous data model that we have outside the four walls. So we've thought really hard about this problem, and we worked in partnership with Kaiser Permanente to develop a care management framework infrastructure that takes the continuous data model, maps it into the episodic care model, and raises alerts and triggers and thresholds for the care management team to actually interface with patients in real time. We've actually just deployed that at the beginning of September. That's going to go live nationally across multiple regions within Kaiser over the next couple of months. That is actually 100% RIP, and we're taking that out to the broader health system market and payer market over the course of the next 18 months. So we're really excited for that, and look forward to providing you an update on how that goes maybe next year. Thanks.